Welcome to MMA Made, the best MMA show around the world. My name is Mighty. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Episode 78, 79, I forget, I'm losing track. But I keep doing it, keep going up. And yeah, I'm still the champion. As you can see, I still got the belt right here, the MMA Made belt. Someday, I might have to raffle this off, the old MMA Made belt. We're going to get out of the way for now. I'm banging it against the desk here. Should I keep it here? Here? Yeah, we'll just put it right here in front of me like this. You can kind of see it. So, in any case, let's jump back to this past weekend. We had World Series of Fighting on Saturday night. World Series of Fighting 24. Interesting. Probably not the most exciting card in the world, but nonetheless, free. And I say free with the asterisks if you have extended cable. It's on your NBC Sports Network, the NBCSN. So that's typically where you will find World Series of Fighting and their fights. That's where it's televised. It did have Chael Sonnen as a commentator. David Branch was on there quite a bit as well. I know he was coming in and out, so that was cool. I like those guys. They did a good job, so kudos to Mr. Branch and Mr. Chael P. So in any case, John Fitch, Yushin Okami main event. Not the most exciting fight in the world, but, you know, Fitch is a grinder. That's what he does. I think the first round, Yushin Okami actually won that round, and then he comes out and he grinds out rounds 2 and 3, does a good job, gets the takedown. Like I said, not the most exciting fight, but he gets the victory, and with that victory, he gets to fight, drum roll please, Jake Shields for the open title. The title that was stripped from the guy that I hate the most, Husamar Paharis. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's close enough. I don't hate a lot of people, and I don't talk trash on a lot of people, but I will say I don't like that gentleman very much, and I'm glad he got stripped. I hope he gets banned for life. Go back somewhere else. Go fight in some underground fights or whatever. Your antics are not welcome here in a sportsmanlike conduct that we try to uphold here in the States and whatnot. But in any case, that's enough about that. John Fitch beats Yushin Okami, so that basically solidifies him as the #1 contender so he can fight Jake Shields. So, this will be called the Battle of the Wet Blankets. No, I'm just kidding. But these guys are both grinders. 5-round fight of grinders. It's probably not going to be the most exciting fight in the world, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. Maybe it'll be like a GSP versus Matt Serra fight when Matt Serra got GSP, won the belt. Some crazy, not that I'm saying that's what's going to happen, but something that you don't expect. Who knows? So anyways, we'll look forward to that. It's probably going to be early next year when that fight happens, is what I would assume. Matt Hamill finally makes his World Series of Fighting debut, and it was not a very good one. He ends up getting tapped by an E-bar in less than 90 seconds in the first round. Man, I feel bad for that guy. I don't think he's won more than one fight in the last 5 years. I know he beat Tito Ortiz almost exactly 5 years ago. He got a unanimous decision. I don't know if he's won since then. That might have been the last time he won. He might have won once since then, maybe. I don't remember exactly. But you know what he can say? He go, nah, I'm the only one that beat John Jones. Well, I mean, he really didn't beat him. But he has that W, the W in the win column. He's got that against Jones. No one else has that. Well, except for maybe the courts. But other than that, no fighter has that. So he can boast that, even though it was a DQ. For some I don't know. We won't even get into that right now. But in any case, Matt Hamill makes his World Series of Fighting debut. Not very good. He's been battling with injuries and everything else. So even to get his debut, it took a while. He was scheduled to fight earlier in the year. He was supposed to fight Thiago Silva, and that never happened. So he finally made his debut, and he'll probably wish that he waited longer to make his debut. But I hope he comes back. I hope that's not the end of it. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's get into the news and rumors, because we do have something that's burning hot right now. And you know what that is? It's called UFC Dublin, or lack of UFC Dublin, because there's no main event now. Well, there's a main event, don't get me wrong, but it's not Dustin Poirier against Joseph Duffy. It's not that main event, because that got scrapped because Joseph Duffy got hurt. This is my question for you, or whoever's watching you, all 6 of you. There might be 7 now, I think. But in any case, why are you getting a concussion when you're 3 days out from a fight? 3-4 days out from a fight, right? It's like, how hard are you sparring? Why don't you have headgear on? I mean, I'm assuming if you got a concussion, you didn't have headgear on. Or you're sparring like serious full contact, taking head kicks by Pat Barry or something. If you got headgear on, you're getting a concussion. Man, take it light. Do some exercise on the cardio, on the bike, or some shadow boxing, or go do sit-ups in the grass in the front yard. I don't know, but you're doing something that's too intense. I mean, I understand you're a fighter. You want to stay in shape and do your thing, but Conor McGregor said it best on The Ultimate Fighter a few weeks back. He said, upgrade the software without damaging the hardware. Now, whether or not Conor McGregor came up with that, because that's pretty clever. I'm not saying Conor ain't a smart guy, but that's pretty clever. So I know that Coach Kavanaugh also put that out on Twitter. So I don't know if Conor got it from Kavanaugh or Kavanaugh got it from Conor. But in any case, whoever thought of it, I like it. It makes sense. It actually makes sense. Duffy didn't do that, though, because obviously he damaged the hardware a little bit. You know, the hard drive actually got damaged on this one. So I don't know. It sucks. I really want to see this fight. There was already a co-main event that got scrapped. Stipe was supposed to fight Ben Rothwell, and that got scrapped because of an injury. And now you got Duffy getting hurt, so that got scrapped. So basically, Paddy Houlihan gets to fight Luis Smoka. Is it Luis or Luis? I think it's Luis. Luis Smoka. They go up to the main event. Norman Park, he goes co-main event. There are some interesting fights on here, don't get me wrong. So anyways, let's jump into that. That's going to be this Saturday, UFC Dublin. Now, here's what you got. You got UFC Dublin is on UFC Fight Pass. So it's already going to be limited amount of views because not everybody has UFC Fight Pass. And then you have a lot of European fighters that aren't as well known, that maybe are making their debut, or they've only had 1 or maybe 2 fights. So even to the hardcore fan, they're not as popular. So this is definitely going to, cruise under the radar. There's not going to be a lot of star power coming in here, so there's not going to be a lot of casual fans for sure wanting to watch this card. I couldn't imagine, because I don't even know who the biggest name is on this card now, really. I don't know. There really isn't a big name on this card that a casual fan, you probably name the whole list of fighters, and most casual fans probably wouldn't know any of them. But not to say that there's not going to be good fights or exciting fights. I almost guarantee, if Dana hasn't done it yet, he's going to have some type of meeting, and he's going to up the ante. He's going to be like, I'm going to give out more than 2 or 3 bonuses. There's going to be more. You guys need to perform. I want to show the world, or the MMA fight fans, that this is the card they should have watched if they didn't. I'll be watching it, because that's what I do. I love watching fights. I mean, granted, I'm just a jackass that babbles about stuff, and then, 2 or 3 people watch it, and then they might tell their friends, and then 2 or 3 people might watch it more, and then maybe I get 16 views. But that's besides the point. I like to watch fights because that's what I do. I just like combat sports. And now that I've kind of gotten away from boxing a little bit, it's not as exciting to me anymore. I just love watching MMA because I love the whole realm of all the different types of martial arts. So in any case, I'll be watching it. And Friday night, there's fights on Bellator. Or I should say fights on Spike for Bellator. Bellator will be at the Mohegan Sun out in Connecticut. I believe that's where they're at this weekend, if I remember correctly. And Brandon Housey will get a shot back at his vacant title that got stripped from him back a few months ago when he fought Kendall Grove and he couldn't make weight, so it got stripped. He still won that fight, but he just didn't get to keep the title. He says it never left him. There's a picture of him I saw on Facebook or whatever, because we're cool like that. We're friends on Facebook. So he said this never left my side. So granted, he probably still does have the belt. He just doesn't have the title. Not the title belt, but the, like doctor's your title. So he doesn't have champion, but he can after this Friday if he beats Rafael Carvalho. That's who he's fighting, and I think he'll win. I think he'll retain his undefeated record. So we'll see what happens on that. We also have Michael Venom Page. He's another undefeated fighter, probably the biggest favorite on that card, huge favorite. Want to say he is a minus 1,300, minus 1,400, something of that nature. And to tell you the truth, I don't recall who he's fighting, so I apologize for that. But he is on the card. This card got switched around a little bit too because there were some injuries on that, so I know that some stuff got changed around. But in any case, it's on Free Friday. Free again, asterisk, free because it's on Spike. If you don't have extended cable, you probably don't have Spike. But I will call it free because it's not a pay-per-view. It's part of your cable package, just like NBCSN. Fight Pass, obviously not free. You got to pay for that. It's like Netflix for MMA fans. But I've talked about this on previous shows. You give up Starbucks 2 times in a month, not a week, in a month. I know you drink Starbucks or Pete's or Phil's or whatever your Seattle's Best, your favorite coffee is, or your favorite thing that you might do X amount of times in a month, and you get rid of it twice if it's $5 a pop, roughly, or $4.50. You can pay for UFC Fight Pass. I know. Why do we want to give the big machine more money? It wasn't designed for us per se. You like that, per se? It was designed for people in other countries. They don't have outlets to Fox and pay-per-view and this and that, but they have access to the internet. Therefore, they can watch fights on that. And it's also another source. Obviously, you can't have 52 pay-per-views in a year because no one's going to buy them, right? So you have to have different platforms to show different amount of shows. So you got pay-per-views, you got Fight Pass, you got Fox, you got Fox Sports 1, and I guess maybe Fox Sports 2, and FX. You got FX. So you got all these different outlets to show X amount of shows. Anyways, I'm just rambling, but just give UFC Fight Pass and stop bitching about it, all right? Thank you, Dana. You can give me my check later. Just send it. I gave you the address. So in any case, I want to thank all 14 of you now, 15 of you now for watching the show. I thank you so much. It's getting late. I got to go. Oh, by the way, I'm going to the premiere of Mask tomorrow. Bobby Razek directed it. It's about Charles Lewis, you know, one of the original owners of Tap Out clothing line. It's a movie all about him. I'm excited. I get to go to the movie premiere tomorrow in San Francisco, so I'm very excited to check that out. I cannot wait. Kick off my birthday week in the right way. Even if I don't have a main event that was supposed to happen with Dustin Poirier and Joseph Duffy, we'll just get by without it. It'll happen. It'll happen. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Bye-bye.